I'm AwayLemonade, or you can call me Allie. This is a video about the resin molds I have. But first off, I reached 100 subscribers yesterday. I am so astounded and grateful for the support I've been shown. In lieu of this milestone, I decided to create a Tumblr. The link can be found down below in the more information section. I'll be posting pictures of the things I've been creating, as well as information about my life. So if you want to see what I've been up to, you can head over there. Once again, thanks to you, I am motivated to keep making videos, and I really appreciate your support. And speaking of videos, onto these molds. I keep these in a 5-tiered Sterilite drawer. This is the bottommost drawer. And right here, Sterilite. Right here I have a artist palette. You mix paints in these wells usually, but I used it as a resin mold. And this was the very first thing I ever used as a mold for resin. And it wasn't the greatest experience because they are the half dome shape. The stickers are really difficult to get into, like to get curved, because most of them were hard, and I'd keep stabbing it with a popsicle stick, and sometimes the pieces didn't come out as nice as I hoped they would. But because the inside of this well is shiny, it made the resin piece also shiny when you pop them out. But I wouldn't recommend this as a first resin mold. It was a good experience for me because it introduced me to how resin really worked. I do like the pieces that came out from this that didn't have any bubbles, but I'm most likely not going to use this mold again just because the stickers were ridiculously hard to get in. But these are good for making follow me eyes or eye shapes because they are a half dome. Next up is this. This is an actual resin mold. My brother got this for me for Christmas because he saw how much I struggled with my artist palette. This is number 33610. It is a very basic resin mold, I think, and it is made out of a more durable plastic. But because the insides of the wells aren't shiny, your piece doesn't pop out as shiny as it could. And these are really great to pop into the freezer because when you pop, like you take them out of the freezer, the pieces pop out more easily due to the temperature change. I do really like this mold. Not so much of the heart shape. The heart shape is a little bit off with me, but everything else is really great. So there's that. This here is kept in a plastic baggie because I use this to dome pieces. This is a Trevolo silicone ice cube tray mold. And the insides of these are shiny. Let me just show you. They are shiny on the inside, so when you put your resin piece or pour your resin in here and pop it out, your piece becomes really crystal clear. But I use it to dome. I use sometimes the back as a flat surface, and I use this to allow resin to drip through. I don't really make pieces in here because, as you can see, these are quite a big square, for me at least. I don't really like giant pieces, but it's really good as a doming tray. And then here, I have my little Windows resin, small resin set mold, and that is the link if you want to head over there. It comes with this rectangle shape one, this square shape one, oval shape one, and circle shape mold. And it also comes with a cropping template, so if you want to take a certain piece of a picture or a design, you can do that and put them into your resin mold afterwards, which is really neat. Next up is this silicone ice cube tray mold. This is also a dull rubber. It's by this brand. I think this is actually older than I am, which is saying something. It's actually made in Spain too, which is surprising. A lot of things are made in China. I think I made one resin piece in here, and then I never made any other piece in here again. Because the stem is so far up in the mold, it made this really gigantic piece. I don't even know if I still have that piece of resin, but it is an apple shape. I thought it would be really cute, and it was ginormous. My mom gave it to me. It was in her cabinet. I'm like, can I have this? She's like, sure. I was like, okay, and then I poured resin in it, and I've never poured resin in again. These are actually the second resin mold I ever used. Let me just put these down. this is what the packaging looks like. I still have one in the packaging. Just like that. And they are heart shapes, star shapes, and these little dome shaped ones. I made these into, like the resin I poured into here, I made it into rings. And they were extremely difficult. This mold is extremely difficult to get your pieces out of. I don't know why, it just is. And I'm not sure if there was ice in there, it would be as difficult too. But, you know, as much as I slammed it on the floor, how many times I put it in the freezer, these pieces just would not pop out. In fact, I still have one piece in this star-shaped mold. I think this was the first one that got me onto these ones, like the mold. And I have no idea where the heart-shaped ones went, but it snapped too. So it is a brittle plastic. Maybe that's why too. It's just not a good plastic. But I do like the shape, so I might try and make some pieces in there again sometime far, far in the future. This is a cube cup. I think these are supposed to be angels. My dad got it from Japan when he bought some other stuff for me. And it tells you, place on tray, put in the refrigerator, take out, and you're done. I wish it was just that easy, right? So there's that. Then there's this penguin one, which is cute. I haven't used this as a resin mold yet, but that was my plan. Same brand as the other one. I might make a penguin in here. It would be a really big piece though. That's something to think about. Next up is this Winnie the Pooh silicone mold. This is also a non-shiny silicone. And it has the Pooh Bear and Piglet. These are muffin tray liners. I also use this as a resin mold. These are really great. They're really thin, so your pieces can pop out really quickly, and you can put an eye pin or screw in a eye screw in the resin piece before it fully sets and hardens, which is great. So I've got a couple of those. This is a Wilson brownie, individual brownie silicone making thing. I got it at Michael's, and it was, I think I used a 50% off coupon, so it became like $8.50 or something. It's usually like 16 bucks. And I made one singular piece of resin in here, and I've never made another resin piece in here again. It's just the size is it's too big for what I like making. I might try again in the future, but it's just not my cup of tea. So there's that. And lastly is this ice cube tray mold. My dad also brought this back from Japan. This is what I made or used to make my snowman. Looks like this, and this is the lid. You're supposed to make like 3D ice cubes, which is really cool. But I just use the half side, and this one just has holes. So yeah. And as you can see, the bin is empty, and those are all my resin molds. Thank you so much for watching and for the support. And until next time.